Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It's Friday morning. Want to go over one of the top lists, comic lists for the week. It's by Covrprice. So they send out an email, and I just got the email late yesterday. So I figured, get it out of the way. I'll do a video on that this morning, and then later in the afternoon, usually the Hot 10 list comes out from CBSI. So I'll go over that list as well. Obviously, there may be similar books on each list, but I'll review that today, so you'll have both those videos out later today. First of all, I wanted to highlight Walking Dead 193. I read it yesterday. It was fantastic. I was really impressed with it. It's a good solid. I think it's like 70 pages, so it's a pretty good long read. It really ends the series in a really good way. I liked how Kirkman wrote this. You could tell he put a lot of thought and planning into it. I haven't read 192 yet, and I don't have 191, so I'm going to probably have to buy that on eBay or something. I am missing 191, so would like to kind of complete my collection of Walking Dead. So I'm missing 188 through 191, basically. I'm glad I have the last two issues, because those are the ones that are, I think those are the, 191's not cheap either. It's like a $25 book now at least. So I'm going to have to maybe, I may wait a few weeks and see if the price dies down. I think the price will die down on this 193 as well. I noticed on eBay it's going for pretty good money. Looks like $35 to $40 range right now on eBay. I thought about, for a couple seconds, I thought about selling it. It's the first print. They do have it second printed now. There's a lot of first prints out there. I've heard estimates as much as 500,000 of 193 were printed. So don't know if, the price will stay high on that for that long, but yeah, I'm surprised it's going for what it is. But it made media news, right? They announced it. I think CNN announced it, so it made some of the major news outlets that the series is over, that the comic book series is over. Yeah, but I was impressed with it, and I liked also reading the letter from Kirkman at the end, going into his process for the series. And his original idea was to go to issue 300, and when he made issue 142, it kind of dawned on him that he'll never get there because it was just 142, I guess, was a pivotal issue, which I'll have to go back and read that. I think that's when they first arrive into, or when they kind of see that there's hope for peace. So I may have to go back and read that issue, but he said when he wrote 142, he realized he'd never get to issue 300. So yeah, I highly endorse Walking Dead 193. It's excellent. If you can't pick up the first print, at least try to pick up the second print. I don't think you'll have any problem getting the second prints. I'm pretty sure that'll be plentiful. So let's jump into the list, the Covrprice list. Number 20 in the list is Batman Damned #1, the Jim Lee variant. 7-day trend up 129%. 18 sold copies. Looks like a 10.0. Sold recently for $320. So seems cheap for a 10.0. But I guess that book is a lot easier to get in high grade. Number 19 on the list, Batman Damned #3, the Jim Lee variant. I think that just came out this past Wednesday. Really nice cover by Jim Lee. Looks like it's at a high raw sale of $11. Hopefully you guys pre-ordered that in advance. I certainly did, so I look forward to getting that in my Midtown order. Number 18 on the list is Immortal Hulk #1. Obviously, this has been a really hot series. And, of course, number 2 gets a lot of attention and love, but number 1 is definitely doing better now, and looks like a CGC 9.8 just sold for 125, and its 7-day trend up 112%. So not too bad. Immortal Hulk #1, I have that in my collection. Not graded, but I think I have a couple of the variants too. Number 17 on the list is Spawn #1. Looks like the 7-day trend is up 106%. A CGC 9.8 just sold for $100. That seems pretty cheap to me for a pivotal book. A lot of people have that in their collection. It's definitely a highly printed book. I think back in the day, well over 1 million copies of Spawn #1 were printed. So not a hard book to find at all. You can, if you look, you can find it still around $30 to $40 pretty easily in raw condition. Sometimes I've seen it go for $25. The newsstand variant is the one that is certainly a little harder to find and definitely commands a premium. So I know there's people out there that are on the hunt for that newsstand variant. Number 16, Sandman #1. This is the Neil Gaiman series. It's coming to Netflix. 11 episodes have been ordered. Last 25 copies sold. It has a 7-day trend up 100%. 9.8 sold for $415. This was a book I was looking at buying probably a year and a half ago. I wanted a really high-grade copy in raw condition, and even back then it was tough to find it for less than $100. And I think that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get it for like $60, $70, maybe $75, and I couldn't seem to get it at that price. So after a while, I just kind of passed on it. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see that getting some attention. We'll see where that goes. Number 15 on the list, Wolverine #1. The first issue of his solo series. 7-day trend up 128%. High sale of $152 for a 9.8. Yeah, that's definitely way undervalued. I've got this in my collection. I bought an entire run, I think like issue 1 through 50 for pretty cheap. I think on average I paid about $3 a comic when I bought that original Wolverine series. So, and that was maybe 3 years ago, probably 2 to 3 years ago. You know, it seems to have always been undervalued. So, you know, and you go to a lot of comic book shops, you'll easily find that on the wall, a Wolverine #1 from 1988. So, yeah, if you don't have it in your collection, I definitely think it's worth finding. You can find that in raw high grade for $40, $50 all day long. So I think it's a good buy at that price, especially if you can find a really nice clean copy. So I highly recommend Wolverine #1. Number 14 on the list, Daredevil #2, the second print. This is the first cover appearance of Cole North. Cole North is going to be kind of like Jim Gordon to Batman, right? Cole North, that's going to be kind of his role to Daredevil. Yeah, this is a book that I didn't really know about. Looks like it's fairly rare to find. It's up 267% in the last 7 days for a high raw sale of $45. My advice on that is, you know, give it a few weeks. I don't know. Let the hype die down on that. You know, his first appearance is in Daredevil #1. So the people that seek first appearances aren't going to collect Daredevil #2 second print for that reason. You know, there's a small niche collector that wants first cover appearances. And I don't think that's going to stay high for very long. So don't be surprised if in a few weeks the hype dies down and you can easily get a copy for probably under $20. So I wouldn't chase that one. Number 13, Annihilation Conquest Wraith #1. Wraith is rumored to be in the new Guardians, or the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. This was one I bought about probably a year ago. I picked up a copy pretty cheap on eBay, and it says here the 7-day trend is up 107%. 9.6 sold recently for $56. Yeah, that's still a book I think you can find on eBay for like $25, $30. I think I paid around 17, 18 bucks for my copy. So that might be one, especially you might find that in a dollar bin, not really in a dollar bin, but a back issue bin at some of your comic book shops. So that's not a book that's on a lot of people's radar. So that may be one to see if you can score a cheap copy of that. Number 12 is Giant Size Defenders number 3, first appearance of Korvac, thought to have a large role in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, hard book to find in good condition. It's oversized. It's a thicker book from the 70s. You go on eBay, most of the copies on eBay are in pretty rough shape. So a high raw sale of $125, that seems cheap to me. But it's 7-day trend up 282%. But those are tough books to find in high grade though, because of their just the thickness and 70s book. I mean, that's going to be tough to find in high grade. But maybe look for it when you're at a local comic book shop. If you got a comic book shop that keeps a lot of older silver and bronze aged books in decent condition, that might be a good one to look for. Number 11 is Incredible Hulk 418. I haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home, so I can't really comment as to the end credit scene here, but looks like there's a 7-day trend of this book being up 183%. High raw sale of $82. I don't know much about this book, other than I think it was that 90s artwork, which I didn't care for. Yeah, I don't think the 90s had. Yeah, I just remember this being something I would not have been that interested in. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my computer, guys. I was going to try to show what the cover looks like, but I'm sure you can look that up. Incredible Hulk 418. Number 10 on the list is Venom number 3, the third print. This shows, I'm not sure if this is Null's first appearance on the cover. I think it might be. But with the Silver Surfer Black Series doing well, this has a trend, 7-day trend up 142%. A CGC 9.8 just sold for $150. I believe I have one of those in my collection. I bought most of the printings of Venom number 3. Number 9 on the list is Incredible Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. 7-day trend up 117%. A high sale of a 9.2 sold for $7,300. This book has no limits at this point. Yeah, this is one that down the road I really want to buy a 9.6 of that book. I used to own a 9.6 on White Pages CGC. So yeah, it's one of those ones I sold a long time ago that I really, really regret selling. But life happens and you got to do what you got to do. But maybe one day I can be privileged enough to buy that book. It's going to be probably a way more than $7,300 though. 9.2 is $7,300. Man, it's a lot of money. Number 8 on the list is Batman Damned number 1. Yeah, I mean that book has been hot for a while, but looks like a CGC 10 just sold for $300. 7-day trend up 116%. That book's doing well. I have a copy in my collection. I have no idea if it's a 10. I mean, I don't know how these books get 10.0 ratings, but I know there's several people on YouTube that have shown them off, so I know they exist. But yeah, I wouldn't assume I would get a 10 on my copy, but there it is on the list at number 8. Number 7, Inhumans number 5. First appearance of Yelena Belova, rumored to be in the, or it says who will be playing in the Black Widow movie that's coming out. 7-day trend 151% up and a high sale of $203 for a 9.6. That was probably hard to get in good grade because it's a black border. Yeah, so that would be one. You might be able to find that in a back issue bin perhaps, but eBay, definitely, that's going to be a little pricier now. Number 6 on the list, Omega Man number 3. First appearance of the main man, what's his name, Lobo. A 7-day trend up 105%, high sale of $300 for a 9.8. That still seems undervalued to me. I've got a really high grade copy, probably a 9.8 if I were to get it graded. I think I paid, I bought it a year and a half ago though, and I paid probably $30 for it. So, I couldn't believe how cheap it was even back then, but I think you can buy it $60, $70 right now in high grade raw copy. That's still pretty cheap in my opinion for a pretty major character in the DC universe. Number 5 on the list is Silver Surfer number 1. Or Silver Surfer Black number 1. Obviously, this is a hot book. Really good story by Donny Cates. Not everybody's favorite artwork, but I thought it served the story really well. I enjoyed reading it. Looks like a 9.8 sold recently for $160. Now that's just, I believe that's the second printing rather. I don't have that copy. I don't know why, but I couldn't find that. So that might be one that you may want to wait on. It's a hot book right now. I don't know. Second prints shouldn't be worth more than first prints, but you know how the comic book market is these days. If anything has a lower print run, it's going to be worth more. So maybe wait a little while on that one before trying to pick that up. Number 4, Kanto number 1. This is the 1 in 10 variant. High sale of $100 for a 9.8, up 295% in the last 7 days. I have a copy coming to me from Midtown. Man, I don't know. Hopefully it's in good condition. There's a lot of people that have said that they've had damaged copies, so I'm hoping mine's in good shape. But I paid $15 for it through Midtown, and yeah, you look on eBay right now, it's easily $70 to $80 for that book. So I'm hoping mine's in good shape. We'll find out soon. I'll do an unboxing video probably in a week and a half or so from now. Number 3 on the list is Marvel Comics Presents number 5. This is the first cameo appearance of Wolverine's daughter. Her name is Ryan, I believe, and I think it's like one of the last panels of the book. I bought this online for about $7 a piece, and now it's going for around $30, so I'm pretty happy about that. 7-day trend up 422%. That was a sleeper. A lot of people did not realize that she appears in the 5th issue. So that book is on the move. Number 2 is Kanto number 1. This is the regular A cover. 7-day trend up 479%. 9.8 sold recently for $80. I looked online, $25, $30 for the regular A cover in raw condition. Yeah, it's a good series. I like the artwork. I heard the writing on it is excellent, so I'll be looking forward to reading it. It seems to be a lot of people are into Kanto number 1, so I did promote that the week before it came out, saying I thought that was going to be a hot series. So hopefully some of you took advantage of that. Number 1 on the list, Marvel Comics Presents number 6. First full appearance of Wolverine's daughter. Her name is Ryan. It doesn't say what her name is in that issue. Number 7 is probably going to be the reveal of that. Raw high sale of $75, up 770% for the last 7 days. Yeah, this book's moving. There's a lot of sales on eBay, but this was still a low print run book, rumored to be less than 10,000 copies. So I don't think the price is going to get cheap anytime soon. We'll see. Maybe there'll be a little dip, and that's, if you haven't bought a copy, that might be when you buy it, is wait for there's a week or two dip in the price. So yeah, that's your number 1 book, Marvel Comics Presents number 6. I'm happy to have my copy. Where is it here? I was going to pull it out. Still have it. Yep, there we go. out. So there's my 2 copies. One of them slightly damaged that hopefully I can press out the wrinkle. But yeah, 2 nice books, or 2 nice copies, decent, or at least one of them decent, and happy to have picked that up. I paid $25 each, so I didn't pay cover price, unfortunately, but seeing how it's going for $75 now, I'm pretty happy with that. So that's kind of what I had for you guys this morning. I will have another video out later today on the Hot 10 list from CBSI, so look for that. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the list. Do you think there should be another book on that list? You know, leave that in the comments. I'd like to see that. And hope you guys had a great 4th of July, and I'll see you later this afternoon. Thanks.